If you're an INTJ personality type, you might have some weird behaviors that you are not even aware of. Here are the 9 weird behaviors of the INTJ personality type. Number 1. INTJs are easily irritated even if they do not display it. INTJ personality types become agitated quite easily. They become weary of putting up with everything. They might become immediately irritated by particular behaviors and people. INTJs frequently go through a series of uncomfortable situations, and due to the fact that they do not respond the same way, many people find this strange. Even while everyone has problems, those with INTJ personalities seem to take things more personally. Because INTJs are logical thinkers, it may be challenging for them to comprehend why others behave in certain ways. People with this personality type are introverts by nature, so forcing them to spend a lot of time with others might make them irritable. If they feel they are the cause of it, some individuals could find this offensive. The individuals around INTJs must be faultless and dedicated, and any who fall short of those standards will eventually annoy them. INTJs prefer to work alone or engage in solitary hobbies to avoid getting upset by other people's apparent incompetence. Second, INTJs' independence is something that INTJs really value. When someone tells INTJs what to do, they rapidly become irritated. For instance, INTJs are particularly sensitive to micromanagement and find it difficult to work with those who don't live up to their high standards of perfection. Number 2. INTJs can't stand not being right. As long as what you're defending has sense, it would seem admirable to defend yourself until you run out of air. However, this practice is essentially a pain in the ass for INTJ personality types. INTJs struggle with trust and take time to warm up to others. Their connections and relationships are undoubtedly impacted by this. Additionally, INTJs hate being proven wrong. They believe that since they spend so much time coming up with the finest answers for their issues, no one could possibly disagree with them. They will not only uphold their truth, no matter how erroneous it may be, even when given the actual facts, but they will also correct you or attempt to persuade you that every situation has 2 sides. It's safe to assume that conflict with an INTJ never turns out well for those around them. Number 3. INTJs have very strong preferences. Strong preferences are an odd INTJ feature that is brought on by 2 primary things. First off, INTJs have a strong sense of self-assurance and are quite clear about what they want from life. The self-assurance of INTJs prevents them from second-guessing their preferences in any area of their lives. Second, because INTJs are fiercely independent and believe that following societal norms constitutes underachieving, they are extremely motivated to forge their own path. Because INTJs dislike conforming to social norms, they are adamant about their choices. For example, if an INTJ is sure that their own favorite approach works well, it could be quite difficult to convince them to try anything new, which we explained more in number 2 of this video. If you are enjoying our content, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. Number 4. INTJs can have angry outbursts. Considering how highly rational INTJs are, their propensity for powerful but infrequent emotional outbursts is a highly peculiar INTJ trait. 3 key factors contribute to INTJ's propensity for emotional outbursts. First off, INTJs suppress their emotions by ignoring them in favor of logical reasoning. Second, INTJs are unable to express their emotions in a healthy way by nature. Masterminds are conscious of this socially awkward characteristic and prefer not to show any signs of emotion, which further suppresses their sentiments. Thirdly, INTJs are often upset when their ideas don't work out or when someone doesn't live up to their high expectations. These triggers have the potential to make the INTJ's repressed emotions all explode at once. These emotional outbursts can be a very weird and peculiar habit, which is not coherent with usual calm INTJ's demeanor. Number 5. INTJs are not fans of receiving compliments. Many INTJs dislike being told they are smart or skilled at something, despite the fact that compliments are meant to make people feel good. Most INTJs are aware of their intelligence, and when others pay attention to them and take their counsel, it makes them happy. It's acceptable to sometimes praise an INTJ, but people should do it rarely and carefully. An INTJ might not take any of your praises seriously if you give them all the time. Number 6. INTJs have their favorite god, the logic. INTJs utilize their heads and reasoning to think, feel, and make decisions. Being more analytical than intuitive and having a logical bent are both positive traits, but depending on reasoning excessively can be problematic. INTJs think that everything has a rational explanation, and that if they apply their expertise and logic to problem solving, they will always come up with a workable solution. Well, it doesn't take long to hear it for someone to realize that not everything needs to be broken down and studied in such detail. Sometimes the best solution to issues come from intuition and instinct, while other times there are no ideal solutions. This specifically refers to romantic connections and other people's sentiments. Does this imply that INTJs won't make every effort to determine the solution using logic and reasoning, even if it doesn't apply? You probably guessed it. Of course not. Number 7. INTJs smile more with emojis than with their real faces. A well-deserved stereotype about INTJs is that they rarely smile. Because they frequently feel the happiest when lost in contemplation, INTJs frequently display a neutral, concentrated countenance that others mistake for anger, even when they're joyful. One need only look at the kind of selfies we take to see that INTJs can and do learn to overcome this. But when INTJs start texting or composing an email, something odd happens. All of a sudden, they're all emoji. This isn't natural for the majority of INTJs either. They all go through a time where they roll their eyes and complain that people no longer use proper punctuation. However, INTJs more than compensate for their lack of social graces with their linguistic talents, and emoji are really simply another written language. As a consequence, even if the INTJ grin is permanently fixed on their faces in real life, they find themselves quite readily switching to the right textual tone for whoever they are texting and utilizing emoji like a teenager. Number 8. INTJs are insanely private. A lot of people like revealing details about their lives. However, those who have the INTJ personality type are typically fairly fiercely secretive. INTJs typically opt to spend time in their incredibly complicated inner thoughts. They don't have to be with people all the time, and when they're younger, they could even avoid sexual connections. For the INTJ, spending time alone with their ideas and imagination is frequently more gratifying than interacting with people who do not appreciate or understand them for who they are. Therefore, you may have complete confidence in an INTJ. They will never reveal what you have to tell them because they never reveal anything anyway. A person with this personality type might not even be aware that this is the case. Simply put, they are accustomed to being alone with their thoughts. Number 9. INTJs can behave awkwardly. Because they lack social ties, INTJs may not be aware of their odd behaviors. Some people may find the bluntness and directness of the INTJs off-putting since they don't like the INTJ's propensity for being harsh in their communication. The INTJ may come out as extremely confident when attempting to enter a novel social situation, but it doesn't mean they aren't engaging in some peculiar behaviors. They may communicate too bluntly and directly as a result of their failure to perceptively understand the wants or sentiments of others. It may occasionally be challenging for the INTJ to connect emotionally because they aren't naturally communicative. With most people, they are easily sidetracked and worn out, so they could come out as acting in ways that others don't often connect with. This could come across as very weird behavior of the INTJ personality type. These videos will be really helpful for you.